Welcome to the Yearly Film Project. I'm Mr.Google. Let's kick it off. Now what the Yearly Film Project basically is, it's a collab channel created by me and mostly ItGuys47, my buddy Ferris. The Yearly Film Project has 14 members that will fill up 2 weeks. That means, right now, it's Monday, so I will be, every other Monday. That means there'll be a member today, tomorrow, every day of the week, and then another 7 members will start the next week, and then you'll see me again. What we'll be doing is that we're going to go down our top 5 favorite films every year. For the next 2 weeks, we will be covering the year 2009, and then the next week, 2008, and so on and so forth, going all the way down to the 1930s. Along with doing our top 5 favorite films, we will also be saying our honorable mentions, and by choice, we will probably do our favorite performances as well. That's what I'm totally going to do. Now what I'm going to do is going to list my favorite performances of the year 2009. Let's start off with Best Actor in a Leading Role. Let's start out with the honorable mentions first. You have George Clooney in Up in the Air, fantastic performance in it. Out of everybody who was nominated for the Oscars that year, I think George Clooney should have won. And my other honorable mention is Seth Rogen in Observe and Report, giving one hell of a tour de force performance, channeling Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver, and hell, even Kevin James and Paul Blart Mall Cop, but with a lot of emotional layers, very well-written character, hilarious, sometimes very, douchey, but he's a very realistic character in my opinion, and what a hell of a character study as well. But the winner of this category is Joseph Gordon-Levitt for 500 Days of Summer, giving, my favorite performance of the year. He's a character I relate to a lot, very realistic, very well-written, and they really couldn't have picked a better actor than Joseph Gordon-Levitt, because Joseph Gordon-Levitt is one of my favorite actors of all time. Going on to Best Actress in a Leading Role, honorable mentions are Zooey Deschanel in 500 Days of Summer as the sometimes lovable, sometimes bitchy to the max Summer. And my other honorable mention is Gabourey Sidibe in Precious. And if Sandra Bullock didn't win for The Blind Side, I wouldn't have minded Gabourey Sidibe. She gives one hell of a debut performance in this film, in a very, overrated film in my opinion, but I still really loved her performance, and honestly, her performance drove the movie in my opinion. But the winner, of course, is Meryl Streep in Julie and Julia. I mean, that was a no-fucking-brainer. I don't see how Meryl Streep didn't win over Sandra Bullock's performance in The Blind Side. Don't get me wrong, Sandra Bullock was good, but what the fucking hell? It's Meryl Streep all the way. She's awesome. Best Supporting Actress, honorable mentions. Out of everybody in the nominations for the Oscars, I know everybody would have been like, Monique, 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 Monique! Yeah, I like Monique in the movie, it's just she gives a very overrated performance, and it's nothing really that challenging. I would have liked to see Anna Kendrick win out of those nominations. She was terrific in that film, Up in the Air. And my other honorable mention is Melanie Laurent in Inglourious Basterds as Shoshana! But the winner, and I know a lot of people are going to spam me in the comments, Vanessa Hudgens in Band Slam. I love Vanessa Hudgens in general, but this character made me want to jump right into the screen and make out with her, because it was a character I really related to, and it was really my dream girl in that movie. Love Vanessa Hudgens in this movie. She was sublime, she was great. Every single adjective you can think of that's good. And Best Supporting Actor, I know it's a pretty obvious winner, but I'll go over the honorable mentions first. Woody Harrelson, Zombieland, is probably the most badass character of the past 10 years, 20 years probably. Him as Tallahassee in this movie is probably the definition of badass, and seeing Woody Harrelson take on a role like this is just fucking awesome. And my other honorable mention is Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover. I know, 2 comedy supporting actors as my honorable mentions. I don't care. Zach Galifianakis as Alan played, the dummy, fat dummy who's sort of smart. He's kind of like an idiot savant, but he brought it to a new level, and he has some of the best one-liners of all time. There's one scene where he just plays poker, and it's like a cross between 21 and Rain Man, and it's fucking hilarious. I love that movie. I love his performance. And the actual winner, of course, is Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Basterds. No fucking brainer. He's the Jew Hunter. Best supporting actor obviously went to him, should have went to him, and it did. So, yeah. Jew Hunter! Going on to my favorites of this year. Some honorable mentions first. Catherine Bigelow's The Hurt Locker. Disney Pixar's Up. Spike Jonze' Where the Wild Things Are. Dan Ekman's Mystery Team. Childish Gambino for the win. Mary and Max, great animated movie. Now this is how it's going to work for my top 10. I'm going to quickly go down numbers 10 through 6, and then when it gets to 5 through 1, I'm going to go more in depth. So let's get started. Number 10 is definitely my favorite Judd Apatow directed film, and I'm talking about Funny People. I absolutely love Funny People. It's really funny, very heartfelt. I love the performances. Adam Sandler, I know a lot of people can say this is his best performance. I personally like his performance in Reign Over Me more, and Punch Drunk Love, I think. Seth Rogen gives a phenomenal performance in this film as well. But, yeah, I did really like Leslie Mann, who I usually don't really like all that much. But, you know, this movie also has terrific supporting actors in this film. Oh, great. And Randy's in it! Randy! Number 9 is a very quotable film, I Love You Man. Love that movie, and I love Paul Rudd and Jason Segel. Jobin! 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 Number 8, Jason Reitman's... Oh, they all fell in the sink. Up in the Air. Up in the Air is easily one of the most well-written films of 2009. Should have won Best Adapted Screenplay, in my opinion. Loved Up in the Air. Moving on. Number 7 is Todd Graff's Band Slam. I don't care! I love Band Slam! Shut up! It's like if John Hughes made a Battle of the Bands movie in the 80s and... Oh, Vanessa Hudgens. Ha 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 ha! Number 6 is Jody Hill's amazing dark comedy, Observe and Report. This movie has an amazing cast. Like I said, Seth Rogen was terrific in this film. Michael Pena as Dennis. Oh my god. Fucking awesome! Anna Faris I also really liked in this film. She was really, really funny and very well written in this film. I liked it a hell of a lot more than Foot Fist Way, which I didn't like. Now moving on to the top 5. Number 5 is Todd Phillips' best film and a cult phenomenon is The Hangover. I absolutely love The Hangover. Who doesn't love The Hangover? Oh yeah, pretentious assholes. But this movie, you can't deny that you love this film. This movie, everybody loves it. I don't know anybody who hates this movie. Maybe you're not crazy about it, but I don't know anybody who hates it. And has such a great tone, so well directed by Todd Phillips. Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, Zach Galifianakis, phenomenal performances, especially Zach Galifianakis. Ken Jeong, very underrated in Hollywood. Loved him in this film. Check it out. If you haven't seen The Hangover, you're living under a rock. Number 4 is from my favorite director of all time, yeah, Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds. This movie is one of the most well-written movies of 2009, and just the dialogue, it's... If heaven was real, I think, you know, there wouldn't be, like, godly music playing in the background. It would be tapes of Quentin Tarantino's dialogue from his movies playing in the background, because that's how awesome his freaking dialogue is. I love this film. Number 3 is my favorite comedy of 2009. It's one of my favorite films ever, and it's Zombieland. Ruben Fleischer's Zombieland is so eccentric, it's odd, it's exotic, it's different, it's one hell of a zombie movie. It's better than Shaun of the Dead. I think it's more quotable than Shaun of the Dead. I think Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Abigail Breslin, and Emma Stone, all fantastic, and Twinkies. Number 2 is my favorite animated movie at the moment, and it's Fantastic Mr. Fox, directed by Wes Anderson. I love Fantastic Mr. Fox to a weird level. I mean, it's not a kid's movie, but it's an animated movie for adults, like Rango, but it's a perfect movie. It's a movie where you can take your kids to it, but your kids really aren't going to really be crazy over it. They're just going to look at the beautiful stop-motion animation, which is beautiful. And I know a lot of people can just disagree with me, spamming me in the comments saying Up is the better one, but no, Fantastic Mr. Fox is phenomenal movie. Loved it. Number 1 isn't only my favorite movie of 2009, it's in my top 5 favorite films ever. And yeah, Mark Webb's 500 Days of Summer. Oh, just a second. 500 Days of Summer is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. It's the perfect romantic comedy. It's the perfect romance film in general. It's perfect. I love this movie. The direction is superb. The performances are superb. This is the first time I ever saw Chloe Moretz. She gave a really good performance in this film. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the man. JGL. Loved him. check this movie out. If you haven't, you are very, very mean, Ferris. And yeah, I'm Mr. Google. And subscribe.